What's up guys, Riley here, and today we're going to be doing a comparison with this trailer and the new trailer. Before we get into the next video, I do want to let you guys know that the first trailer video I did, so it was the review video, I rated it, I think like a 4.5. Because I had a hard time with the instructions. I couldn't get into the instructions, and it turns out that was just a personal problem. So I rate the trailer a 5. It's just an awesome trailer, something to add to your RC collection that you can have a lot of fun with, and just mess around. So I rate this trailer a 5, and the new trailer that we're about to check out, I will rate that a 5 too. But I told 3dsleekun that I would let you guys know that I did figure out the instructions. That was just a problem on my behalf. But yeah, let's get into the video. So, before we get into this video, I want to thank 3dsleekun, Sleek RC on Etsy, for this sponsorship. He helped sponsor this video with this new trailer we have, the wide trailer, because I already had this trailer. He sponsored me one with the trailer with his brand new bearing kit. Check that out. It's a day and night difference. And also I have some ramps that he sent me and rails. So we're going to be taking a look and doing a bit of a comparison with these two trailers. So as you see, this trailer's wider, obviously. This is the larger trailer that he has. I think you can put some 18th scale vehicles on this, but I'm not too sure. This trailer right here is for mostly stock trucks. So this is the smaller trailer, and it's mostly made for stock trucks or stock width trucks. I mean, you can have some link upgrades and maybe some little brass upgrades. But once you get wider, you're going to need the larger trailer. So as you can see, the Bronco fits in there without a problem. Fits perfectly, which is nice. And then, if I take my C10, fully upgraded, super wide, sits on the fenders, and they're 3D printed. They're pretty thin. They're strong for what they are, surprisingly, because I have run the C10. When I drive the trailer around, I have had the C10 on the fenders, and the dually sometimes. When I run the dually on the trailer, yes, I pull this on the trailer, just because it's so heavy, just to try out. It does sit on the fenders a little bit, but it's something you can get around. You know, you just set the truck on the fenders. Or he does have a widening kit, or whatever. You can run 2 wheels instead of 4. So as you can see, I've got 2 axles, but you can run 1 axle. But I have gotten the larger trailer. So my C10 actually fits in the larger trailer perfect without the rails on, with about a 1/4 inch to spare, so an 1/8 of an inch on each side. So if I put it on there like that, as you can see, well, one second, I've got about a 1/4 inch in there of space, which is awesome. It gives you enough space where this one, it just sits on the fenders because there's not enough room for it. The next thing is, he does make this wood, because on a real trailer you're going to have boards, and putting boards in a trailer like this would be just kind of annoying. So what he did was he took a piece of wood and then he burned, I think he burned, or I can't remember what he said, the lines into it, just to mimic the real look of a trailer. Also, it comes with this real nice sticker, Sleek RC by 3dsleekun, on Etsy. His Etsy page will be in the link down below, along with both the trailers, and then you'll just pick if you want the bearing kit when you order the trailer. But yeah, so far this has been a really nice trailer. I've used it a little bit, and this trailer, he didn't have the bearing kit out for it yet, so I kind of rigged it. I put bearings on the insides of the axles, so it rolled better, but not super good. So it's a little rough. You can definitely feel a lot of drag on it. Spinning the wheels, you can see and hear. They don't spin very good, but it's good enough to go. And then with this new bearing kit, no problem. It's super smooth on all the wheels. Really nice. I mean, it just overall so much more performance out of the trucks pulling this, because one, it gets over objects easier because it rides smoother, and when you come up to a bump, like you see my hand under there, when it comes up to a bump, the wheel's able to roll smoother on those bearings, so that the truck has an easier time pulling the trailer is what I'm trying to get after. The next thing is, with these bearings, I've noticed a lot less bogging of the truck, because these bearings really, they have a lot of drag, honestly. And for a little truck like this, it can really slow them down, and you hear it a lot in the motor. So if you don't know, I do have the Mofo RC Buzzsaw 50 can in here. It's a pretty awesome motor so far. I'd like to try it out rock crawling in this C10, but it adds a little bit of speed, but gives you way more torque than the stock motor. I'm running the RC 4-wheel drive tires. They're a little bit bigger than the stock C10 tires. I think they're around 54 millimeters. So the tires aren't giving me that much more speed with the motor. But I've noticed a lot with the bearings that the motor is not bogging down anywhere near as much. I'm getting all the RPMs I need, and I'm getting full speed too. So usually when I pull the trailer through the grass and stuff, I don't really have full speed, and then once you take the trailer off, it just goes. But I noticed with the bearings, I think I'm getting full speed now. So the bearings is definitely a big upgrade that you should check out. So the next thing that I got with the trailer were the rail and ramp add-ons. I've got them here. I don't have all the pieces, but we'll get to that in a second, because I just didn't put them on. But here, for this trailer, I didn't get the rail and ramp add-ons, which, I don't know, it's just, they're small trailers, so you can drive up them easy, honestly. So I didn't think I'd need it, but having the rail and ramp add-on is just a nice touch. So one thing is for sure, I showed you the C10 fit on it pretty good with about a 1/4 inch of space. These rails, so I've got 2 rails for the sides, and then, so the longer rails go on the sides, and then I've got 2 of these. I only put 1 on it because 1 goes on the back. I'm just putting the 1 on the front. And then the rails, there's not really anywhere to hold them on, so I just slide them in under the truck, in the center. They hold on pretty well. I've had 1 fall out, but I was off-roading a little much, and I picked the truck up. But so far, it's held on pretty good. But putting the rails in, it's got a nice friction to it, so that you won't have to screw the rail in, but he does give you the screws to screw the rails in if you want. So as you see, I'm pulling up on it, and it's got pretty good friction. So you don't have to screw it in if you don't want to. I prefer it not screwed in because I can take it on and off, and since it's got the friction, I won't have to worry about the rails coming out, which is super nice, really nice touch. As you see, it fits together. I like the trailer with the rails. It just gives it a nice look. And if we move this stuff here, take the ramps, all the rails and stuff, there's little slots. You can see it right there. That's what all the ramps and rails slide into. They've got this little piece on it. But yeah, So these will just slide into the back, just like that. And there we go. Lines up awesome with the truck. And the thing is, with the ramps, they're going to take up a little space. So as you see, I tried to set my truck down in it, and it kind of just sat on the rails a little bit. But the thing is, if you kind of move the tire a little bit and push it down in there, it really holds onto my truck, which I really like. I think I've got the perfect width truck for this trailer, honestly. And the rails hold on to my truck pretty good. Obviously, you might have a different truck with a different width, so it might not work that way. So just be cautious when you get the rail and ramp add-on. Just to let you know, I've got 4mm axles, stock hexes, and just the Injora steel trailer B-blocks. So that's really all I've got for width that I know of. Yeah, because I took my hexes off, it was too wide. And as you can see, the rails really hold on to the truck. So if I hold it from the bottom, as you can see, it was holding on really good to the truck. I've got it at a pretty sharp angle, so that means when you're off-roading, it is not going to come off. It bumped back a little bit, but you know, that's a pretty steep angle for it to not be strapped down or anything, just the rails holding on to it. But it's such a nice trailer. It's a fun addition to your RC collection. So I've got this C10 here, purposely built to pull this trailer, and it looks really good in front of this trailer. I really love the look of it, just the scaleness of it. This is kind of like a daily driver truck. This will be featured in the David vs. Goliath build between this and the dually that I had back there that I showed you guys. But yeah, like I said, it does come with a ramp to put on the back. Maybe you're hauling something other than an RC truck or something. Or maybe you're putting it in there so that it holds the RC truck in. But I don't know. So getting on to some things. So he does come with a few spare parts for the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about that. Alright, so I've got the truck in front of me, because it does have an extra piece that came with the trailer on it. So when you get the trailer, it comes with this hitch piece. It's just this little piece right here. It's none of the piece that, it's not this piece, it's just the little piece right there. The main hitch part, it's got a little bump up. If you get the hitch from him, it doesn't have this bump up right here. It just goes, you see the bump up? It just goes straight. So if I show you the black C10, here's the one it comes with when you get the hitch itself. So as you can see, it hits the bed, and it hits the body when you flip the body up, and the body won't stay up. So it's super nice that it comes with this little hitch. The next thing is, it comes with one of these spare axles. So if you see this little piece, that little plastic piece right there, it comes with that, and it comes with the spare plastic bushing, because even if you get the bearing upgrade, it comes with the plastic bushings anyways, because that's part of the trailer. But yeah, I think it comes with a few extra screws, just in case you lose any, but I'm not sure. If you get any extra screws, you get any extra screws. But just be careful. This is all 3D printed, other than the wood, obviously, and the tires, you know, whatever, metal, anything. But most of the trailer's 3D printed, so be careful. He says the weight limit might be, he says not to put 30 pounds on it. But, I mean, I've stacked a lot of weight in the little trailer. It holds a lot of weight. So you can put a brick on it, pull it around, you're just fine. I wouldn't do that often because you might start bending the plastic. But it does have these little braces. They're not going to do a ton, but they do help a little bit. But yeah, So one thing I do like about these trailers before we get outside is the 3D print look to it. So I don't know what it is, when you 3D print stuff, it gives it like a bit of a pattern. I really like the pattern on that railing, if you can see it. Or not the railing, but the brace right here, and the railing. But I really like the 3D print pattern when you get stuff like this. Maybe you can see it on that right there a little bit better. But it just gives it a not so boring look to it. Also, one thing it does come with is these fenders for the scx24 tires, and he comes with one big fender for each side for Kyosho Mini Z tires, because the Kyosho Mini Z's, if I'm not mistaken, are actually 28th scale, not 24th. But I'm not sure. But the Kyosho Mini Z wheels are a lot smaller, especially with a 0.7-inch rim. So yeah, let's go ahead, let's get outside and do just a little bit of running with this trailer. And maybe we'll do a little bit of running with this trailer, just as a comparison. So let's get out there. So before we get outside with the trailer, I just want to show you these batteries that Urgenix was kindly able to send over to me for a sponsorship in a later video. These are going to go in your scx24s, so they have your pH 2.0 plug, and they also come with a JST plug, which is the red one, which is really nice for me because it fits in my dad's 6x6, and we've really been needing a battery other than a 3.4 volt drone battery. So these batteries are so much better than what we had in the 6x6, and we still need to test them in the scx24s. They're all charged up, so we are going to be running these batteries in the pulling truck, but we're not going to be doing a review on them. Today's video is for the trailer, but I just want to let you guys know, check these guys out. So far I've liked their batteries. I've ran one battery, both in this and in the crawler, to test the capabilities on the rock course and the pulling capabilities, see how much power it gets. But thank you so much, Urgenix, for this sponsorship. Like I said, this will be in a later video, and for today, Sleek RC is our sponsorship. I don't know if I stated it, but Sleek RC is my first sponsorship of the channel, so I really want to thank him a bunch for this sponsorship. Let's get outside. Alright, so starting off, we've got the large trailer with the C10 in it. She doesn't even spin taking off anymore with those bearings. Way nicer. I do have a battery plug sticking out the front end of the truck. But this is kind of what I was talking about with the bearings, where when the trailer gets up to a bump, it's got better bearings, so it bumps up way easier. No problem at all. There's a bit of a drop right here, a hole, and just goes right through it. No spinning at all whatsoever. As you see, this is a bit of a bigger bump that has well, the plywood's actually off the ground right there. She's trying. See if she can pull through. Don't know if it's gonna do it just because it's a larger bump with a lip on it. So we'll move over to the side. Yeah. So if I bring the camera over here, as you see, it's got this lip right there. That's what the tires are catching on. It's almost doing it. Ready? Once you give it a little bump, it should be good. But so far, this is just a great trailer. As you can see, that battery is giving it plenty of power. Pull it on over. We're gonna go do some driving in the grass. See how she does in the grass with the bearings. Maybe a little bit of off-roading somewhat. one thing I didn't mention, that I forgot to mention, is before without the bearings, it had a hard time going up a hill, but now, just because the bearings slowed it down a lot, but now with the new bearings, it does way better. Obviously, it slides because of the weight, but it actually does it because the bearings aren't creating a lot of drag. So let's get on to the grass and see how it does there. So over here at the roots, with the bearings the way they are and the rails holding on the truck, we can now go over this pretty easily without the truck falling off, because usually it's at a pretty decent angle and the truck will fall off. As you see, I've got my boards in there. They're holding on pretty well so far. There's one problem, it does catch a little bit. Trailer deck. But fairly easy trailer to build. He does have instruction, which I talked about at the beginning of the video. I didn't talk, well, we lost our trailer. That is one problem. It really isn't much of a problem because you really don't off-road like this. But it does come off every once in a while, which is kind of funny, so I don't care. But as you can see with the bearings, the motor is not giving up. Full throttle. It's going about as fast as she can go, even without the trailer. It does really good. It's just so smooth. We'll go over to the driveway and the rocks and test it out. Alrighty, so we're in the rocks. We're in some small rocks right now, but we'll get into some bigger ones. I'm barely giving it throttle, and it's having no problem. Here we go. It's a little bit slower because it does spin on the rocks, but if we go over here, in the bigger rock, it really doesn't have a problem. Most of these rocks are kind of matted down. As you can see, the trailer does fine. Absolutely no problem. I do have the, not Endura, I don't know why I said that. I do have the stock Nittos Jeep tires on it, and they do pretty good so far. So, now I'm going to throw the Bronco on the little trailer. We're going to go up that little ramp and we're going to go through the rocks and see how it does. One thing, when I went to swap over the trailer, I do want to let you know, with these bearings, it makes it so much more fun to back up the trailer. It's a lot easier because the wheels are a lot freer. I know I said I was going to put the Bronco on the trailer, but we're just going to put the C10 on it so that we have the same weight. But yeah, let's get on. So taking off, it spins a little bit more. Where that, it doesn't spin at all because it's so smooth. I'm going to tuck this up in there. It's kind of getting annoying now. My battery's pushed all the way forward for all the forward weight. It might fall out again. I didn't really do good there. But it spins a lot, and as you see, we're going a lot slower. But coming on to the ramp, once we get here, oh man, we just lost the trailer. Looks like we're gonna have to give it a bit of a bump to get on here. We're gonna have to push the C10 a little bit farther forward so it doesn't come off. We don't have those ramps to hold the C10 on either, though. Back up a little bit. And as you see, this struggles way more. I might be a little close for you to be able to see. But put in the trailer. Back on. There is a bit of a lip. There's a lip with the other trailer too. So as you can see, with the rails not holding it on straight, or the truck, they're not holding the truck all the way up like it needs to be to keep the trailer on. And just the bearings themselves are just not wanting to. As you can see, there's a ton of friction. The bearings are just not. You really need the bearings, honestly. They're just such a great addition. But yeah, so let's get on to the rocks and see how it does there. Usually I get stuck in the rocks, but we'll see how I do today. Alright, so now you can see we're at the rocks. This is my walkway, so it's a little kicked up. More kicked up than the driveway. So this is where I usually get stuck. Full throttle. Getting stuck on rocks and such. And you can just tell she has a hard time. There's just so much friction. Another thing is with the C10, the way it sits on the trailer, it does pull up a lot on the front end. The truck does a lot of wheeling, and when it gets up to a rock, as you can see, it's spinning a ton. I can do full throttle with the other trailer and it not spin at all on the rock. Even right here, it has a lot. It doesn't turn as good either without bearings. So. So, as you can see, the bearings are a good addition to the trailer. So definitely check those out. I think that'll be about it for this video. So let's get inside and end off this video. So, as you can see, the larger trailer is a lot nicer when you have a upgraded rig, and when you add on the rail and ramps and the bearings, it's just a completely different trailer. This trailer, I'm still going to try and use it. I'm probably going to put bearings in it so it rolls better. But I just love this trailer so much. The rails on it look so good. And sometime I would like to get some more of these Enduro wheels and put them on the trailer. As you can see here, you just kind of push the tire in there. Fits in there flush. It's just such a great trailer. And again, thank you so much 3dsleekun for this trailer sponsorship. And I would love to partner up with you another time for anything. But yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. Like and subscribe. Definitely hit that like, just so we can get my content up onto YouTube, so we can spread the good content. Thank you Urgenix for the sponsorship. I'll have that later on. And just one more sponsorship. Gotta grab it. But we do have a mini basher now. This thing's a beast. That'll be the next video, and then the batteries. But this thing is just a beast, so definitely check out the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you can get the video, or receive the video, get a notification when the video's out for that, and the batteries. So I want to thank all three of my sponsorships for the awesome products. The battery did awesome in the truck, so I can't wait to get into those videos too. But yeah, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.